All right, y'all. This round 3, Parenting Boulevard. We here from the 909.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
That's a lot of energy.
um,
But it's happening, though. I
we
love it.
here because y'all heard. If y'all been following us, like we know y'all been following us, we put it down like Chinatown. This is the episode where Senna gets into why she wanted to be a mom. I'm about to give it to the OG, the original, the big homie, the Grand Jefe. Go ahead, tell them why you
Wow.
wanted a kid.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much, so much for this award. First, I would like to thank my grandma, my mama, and most of all, the good Lord Jesus Christ. But no, so why did I want to have a child? To simply put, I thought of it as a way to pass on what's being passed on down to me, the good, right, and then to fix some of the not so good, and then a way to have a little bit more fun than just with you, right? It's funny because before we actually started trying, I think that was like our first year of being married. How thing? Hi.
And
What happened?
And that's the Messiah break.
She said, I'm up, y'all. I'm up,
Said
y'all.
if I'm up, then I'm up,
Then I'm up.
then I'm up.
The baby version.
Shouts out to Cardi.
But yeah, no, one of our friends who now have 2 girls, they had just got pregnant with the second one. And I was asking them, and I knew they live a very lively life, right? They were traveling. The couple was traveling. They were both working in a setting where they didn't have to go in. So they live their life. And so I was asking them, like, why, how does having a child change your lifestyle since you have such vibrant lifestyle before? And my friend who was like, well, it's actually more fun because with just the 2 of you, yeah, it's great. Y'all have that fun. But having a child, it's more fun because it adds a different dynamic to it. And there's more responsibility, but there are also more different memories to create. And I was like, that's interesting. And I enjoy seeing that it didn't change their lifestyle, so to speak. And so to me, that was essentially how I felt, was that it's a way to pass down what the good stuff that's been passed on to me, and to maybe rectify some of the not so good stuff. And a way to live like everybody knows, a little bit of you here when you're gone, and for two people, you and me, of course, who aspire to do so much and be so much and live so vibrantly, I feel like it's a good way to live that vibrant life, and at the same time live, I don't know how to put it, like, we at the end of our days, right, whether that's 100 years from now or 50 years from now, we know that will end, right? But I feel like with having kids, we have people who really know who we are. Like, your friends know who you are, your family and siblings know who you are, but your kids are there on a day-to-day basis. Your kids see more of you and hear more of you than anyone else. Because even if they leave at 18 by American standards, which even if they leave the house at 18, that's 18 years you've spent with this person, shaping this person, giving wisdom to this person, creating memories with this person. So there is very hard for anybody to know you more than that person besides your spouse, of course, right? So taking away ourselves, so if we take, right after you, and right after me, there will be the next people who really know who we are because they're here 24/7. And so it's really a way to be like, hey, all right, if you really want to know about me, if anything else that you don't know about me from being my friend or family member or so forth, 9 times out of 10, my kid will know. They're not gonna know everything, of course, because of certain things, But especially as they grow, you'll share more with them, one adult to another, right? And so if you have that
I
relationship
know
with
this
them,
girl got big dreams.
I do.
When this child
I can't
becomes
wait.
an adult.
I can't wait to have all the girl moments with her. But it's
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I
that's
get what you're saying.
and that's another thing, because I grew up in a culture where you don't really know much about your parents as much. You don't know them like that. You see what I'm saying? You know what that what they aspire for you to be, and who they aspire for you to be, but you don't know them like that, because we don't have that adult to adult conversation once the kids grow up. We don't, at
Interesting.
least in my little setting, it wasn't the case. So I can't say that I know my dad very much. I can't say my mom a little bit more, because I grew up with her in the childhood, and she has a different personality than my dad. But still, so I was very excited to. That was one of the things I was excited to do, is really get to know my child as a person, and to allow them to know me as a person. Versus just, okay, I'm the parent, I'm raising you, you are a good human being, you can sustain yourself, I done it. You know what I'm saying? So that was some of the big reasons for me. And I mean, if because a few people have asked me, how is parenthood, how is motherhood? It is great. It's really great. Like, I'm enjoying being a parent. Of course, is it tough? Yes. Don't let that fool you. I would not want to put it to you as if all roses and sunshine, but overall it is great, at the end of the day. So if it's something you aspire to do, or even thinking about it, yeah, it's tough, don't get me wrong, but if you do choose it and it's in your heart to be a parent, then make sure you have the right circumstances. You are a parent with the right person, because it makes a difference. And then go ahead and make it happen. Get your baby making on. It's also fun making it. So but yeah, this will be a much shorter episode, but that is really my reason to say, hey, you know what, I am down and I'm excited to be a parent. And I know every stage is going to be different, but you can't get to being a parent of a 4-year-old if you're not a parent of a 4-month-old. I mean, the way we are doing it, the good old basic way of that came out of you. But yeah, so another thing that's interesting.
I love how she said, "Hey yo, this is gonna be the short version,
It's
right?"
gonna be short. It's gonna be short.
It's fine by me.
It's gonna be
I just
short.
know black people. I've been black my whole life. Now look, for anybody who's not black, okay, or you didn't grow up around black people, and this is across the diaspora. When we say, "All right, we about to leave,"
9 times
we're
out of 10.
not about to leave. Okay, just don't do it.
Just sit back and relax.
Just be like, well, okay, you're not about to leave.
Because we're going to grab our purses and then start a whole conversation.
So it'll probably be 3 more we about to leave before we actually leave. Okay, just want to throw that out there.
Whatever. Anyways, I did want to do a quick, and we'll probably end up having a deeper interview. I mean, not interview, deeper episode about this, about some of the journeys we had to getting to here, getting to holding her in our hands. But I do wonder how y'all feel about adoption. The reason being, it's sometimes it's like odd to me when I hear certain people comment like, "Oh, you are not the real parent because you adopted a child." But to me, and it may seem like it's like where does this come from? It's because parenthood nowadays comes in so many different, art form. But even before nowadays, adoption's been around forever. And if we were to say, hey, the child has to come from you for you to be a parent, then that doesn't add up, because that's just giving birth. That's just making a baby. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Giving your DNA, the child being related to you, in a DNA way, whether it's the father or the mother or the male biological person or the female biological person, then that's just that, is that they're related to DNA wise. But parenting, that's a whole different thing, I feel like, because parenting is what comes then after. Really, really, it's part of it. It's the main part, I'll say, because people give birth all the time and don't end up being parents because they can't do it. They're not in the right state of mind for whatever reason. They don't have the means. I mean, the list goes on, right? So to say that, hey, unless the child you raise is biologically yours and you are not a parent, is like, well, hold on now. How are we defining parenthood? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a little bit of my heart because I've heard that before. And I just, and even for us, we were considering adoption down the line at first because, we had some difficulties getting to holding a sire in our hands. So we really had to be, face the fact that it was possible at the time that we wouldn't be able to hold our own flesh and blood in our hand. And do we want to close that door, the parenthood door, altogether? Or do we want to, continue to do what we wanted to do, which was be a family of not just two? So, for all the kids out there who need a safe and loving home, and then for somebody to say, okay, let me take one into, or however many, into my own home and raise them and love them for however many years until they're adult, and then for you to say, oh yeah, they're not an adult, they're not a parent, it's like, I don't know, that's a little offhand. And I do know that some, and I think part of it is also that some cultures don't, it's part of it is cultural, right? Because some cultures are more accepting of it than others. There we go. I think that's the main thing. Is that especially the older generations, as the story usually goes, more accepting of it than others. So if that's a way that you either want to or end up being parent, then go ahead and enjoy your parenthood and be proud of it. And anybody who say, hey, you're not a parent because they're not biologically related to you, then just give that person maybe a middle finger. But and keep pushing and keep being a great parent. How about that? That's my takeaway.
Wow. I'll say this on the point of parents and being the person that makes children. I think those are two different things because as we just stated, there's a lot of different ways to make a baby, but to be a parent is something totally different. Yeah. Because in my opinion, parent is somebody who's been there, hopefully day one, but if not, for whatever reason, you're there day in and day out. You know what I mean? Like, parenting to me is you put in the time to earn the respect of being called father and mother. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know dad, daddy, mommy, mom, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to, anything. Yeah. But, you really put in that time to say, like right now, 4 months in, this girl knows us and we know her. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. In terms of adoption, I think it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? We've all heard the stories. We've all heard good stories, bad stories, of people who've been in the system, who've gotten adopted, who've had great homes, things like this. I think if that's something you decide to do, shouts out to you. More power to you. And you're doing it for the right reasons. Shouts out to you. More power to you. but it is something to say, you know, hey, I'm a parent, because as I told Senna, you know, when you get kids, you're not just making a commitment to whoever you had that kid with. You're making a commitment to that kid, you know, like to see her smile and all her little faces and all the things, you know. Well, now she just did a great spit up. So that's number one. But to be here for those moments and, you know, to not be encumbered by, no, you can't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Thank you. She was trying to eat some tissue. But we don't want her to do that, obviously. So it's just one of those things to be like, yo, this is, you know, this is what it means. And I even think more so because me and Senna, we just had good examples of people who went through the trenches with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily saying we put our moms through hell or our family through hell, but we understood even before we became parents, like, you know, this is, you know, this means something to be like, yo, I really, truly, sacrificed to have this person here.
Yeah,
you know what
sacrifices.
I mean? Yeah, sacrifices. So that's what I say to those who, you know, have the mindset of parent versus making a baby. You know what I'm saying? So
I like that. Parent versus making a baby.
Yeah, that's straight facts, G.
Oh wow, okay. All right, gangster dad.
Hey, gangster start with a G, don't it?
Wow.
Wow.
All right, y'all. We'll leave it at that. Y'all have a good one. Stay clever.